Okay, so this video is to show you how to use the configuration menu on the new ElectraStim AXIS electrostimulator. So this would be the screen you'll see when you switch the stimulator on, and simply to get into the config menu, use the mode button to go through all of the stimulation input modes until you arrive at the configuration menu. Then simply to navigate this menu, the only button you need to control it is the option button. So the first screen just tells you what the configuration menu is for. When you press the option button, it will just bring up the menu for a couple of seconds and then it will revert back to the screen. So to navigate, you have to press once to bring up the options, then you can start to scroll down. So the first option is to use the button input, but that is the default setting for the way you control it. The option on that, if you press it again and go down to gesture input, if you just leave that to dwell for a couple of seconds, that now has configured the gesture input. So the way this works is you select it, leave the cursor or the highlighted bar over that menu option, and it will invoke that feature. So that's the gesture. So if we was to go back to the normal use, it would now be in gesture mode. But let's go through and look at some more options. So we have a beeper built in. So if we just hover on that, you can now hear that the beeper has been configured. We also have a feature called nerd mode, which puts a little bit more information on the screen. So that will now also be configured. At any time, if that was the only thing you wanted to do, you would simply press the mode button and that will take you back to your user screen. So we can go down again. So we've got a practice gestures feature. So this feature is crucial if you want to try gestures, to get you to practice so you know how to do the motions, the pace, the distance from the sensor. So if I go upwards, you can see that it's confirming an up motion. So other things in the configuration menu, we've got a microphone calibration and sensitivity setting. So there's a couple of things you can do here. You can set up you can trim the input. So for the silent, when the room is silent, you can trim it so it's at the optimum sensitivity. So the way you do that is with the adjust on the side. So this is effectively what they call an input offset adjustment. The idea being we want it to just go to a 0 level when there's silence in the room. So you can see that's set up optimal at the moment. So you can, if you want to, increase the sensitivity a little bit. So there you can see that it's got a pickup when there's no sound. So that's ideal. That's right on the threshold there. Okay, so to increase the sensitivity, all you'd simply do is increase this side here. You can see now the slightest voice will top it out. Obviously, if I go too high, it will just top line all the time. So we can bring that down to a sensible level. So it's picking up audio. Oh, that's a little bit too sensitive on the input there. Okay, so that's how you adjust the microphone. We can view technical info as well. So there you can see things about the battery, the serial number. You can scroll down to find the firmware versions, the serial number, etc. So that's kind of how that menu works, just a bit of tech info. And if we press it and go down to the last feature, we can view usage info. So this is kind of your session times, how many times you powered the stimulator up, and the hours and days of use you've had from your AXIS. So that's basically how you go through the configuration menu. To get back to actually using it, press the mode button, it will take you back to the wave patterns. Okay, so that's a quick run through of the configuration menu.